Hello guys and welcome back to some more World of Tanks. Today I'm bringing you a bunch of replays and they're not the cream of the crop, and mass mainly because at the moment um, yeah soon there will be a big update to modern armor which will reduce the cost of modules and tanks, as well as reducing the XP needed to get them. Now, obviously, a lot of people will be like, "Well, I'm not. There's no point in playing. The tank lines are going up. If you just wait a couple of weeks, you'll be getting. It won't cost you as much, and won't take as much XP to get the upgrades you're going for." But you know that feels like I've then got 2 weeks of kind of wasted time where I could be getting some XP. So I have been going, basically getting my daily doubles in my tank lines that I'm going up. But even if I do get the next upgrade, I haven't been buying it because obviously I'm waiting for the next upgrade, next update, so that they don't cost as much. So that does mean I'm going out in very quite stocked tanks for the next couple of weeks just to get my daily doubles, like I said. So obviously I've not been having these particularly amazing games. Once I got my daily doubles in these tanks, though, I have been going out in premium tanks, just because obviously I'm using silver boosts just to earn as much money as I can, because with the update the downside is the reduced silver earnings you'll be also getting. So I'm trying to make the most of it at the moment, and I only play like once a week, so obviously I have to just deal with what I've got, and what that is not the best games at the moment, because I'm obviously not really playing at the moment just to get amazing gameplays. You know, I'm doing it to upgrade my tanks, earn XP and got the tank lines, and obviously not upgrading them means the tanks aren't particularly good. But like, this is what I'm showing you here, really. A gameplay in mainly stockish tanks, with the odd premium tank replay. Obviously, I have better games than those tanks, but obviously I'm playing about half my time in stocky or near stock tanks, so I can't get these great replays at the moment. But obviously that doesn't really matter per se when it comes to World of Tanks. I'm going to sit here and take a hit, but I get the kill. But I'm at the moment, you know, going out in these different, very, very different kind of games. If you played this game for long enough, you realise that getting between the difference between a mastery and a second class or a third class or whatever can be very variable. And that's what I kind of think. It's like, don't worry too much about, at the end of the day, it's nice to get a mastery, it's nice to get a first class, but at the end of the day, it just depends on Wargaming's XP earning and just kind of luck as well. Because I've had games where I've been in a tier 8 premium tank, I've had what I consider an amazing game, or a great game. I've had a lot of fun, I survived, I got about 5,000 damage, I end up seeing the screen. Like I said, it is a little bit disappointing, but I end up getting like a first class only, or a second class, even maybe a second class depending on the tank. And then like next week, I go out in the same, maybe not next week, maybe next month, they might have reset the parameters of XP to get certain mastery badges and stuff like that. Next month I'll go out in the same exact tank, I'll get less damage, but I'll get a few more kills, and I'll end up with a mastery, which last month I was only getting a first class or a second class. Um, uh, they do grade like XP on things like the distance between you and the other tank, which can be very irritating if you're like a TD or you took a lot of damage at the beginning of the match, so you sit at the back. I can kind of understand at the same time because it discourages camping a little bit. But also, I do find that sometimes it can be very frustrating when it comes to kills versus damage. Because I can have what I consider a pretty average game where I get, I don't know, 2,000 damage in a tier 8, 2,500 say, but I get 4 or 5 kills. Now that will get you a lot more XP than just getting say a flat 5,000 damage but no kills. It's annoying because I've probably had a lot better game in the game where I've got no kills and got 5,000 damage. I've worked harder for it. I've done the smart plays to get that damage. But and then you have just getting lucky really. Have not a great game. But you're just getting kind of lucky with getting the kill shots, and you get that many kills, and you get actually a lot more XP and rewarded for that. And that's kind of that can be very frustrating. Almost like you're getting punished for playing well and rewarded for not playing well sometimes. I mean, obviously it is hard for wargaming to know for sure like how well someone's playing, and they have to go off some kind of base XP kind of thing. So I kind of understand that, but it can obviously be very frustrating, like I said, if you're having an amazing game but you only get a first class because you didn't get that many kills, but you play another game and you play mediocre, but you get a mastery because you got lots of kills, or you get this, or you get a first class just the same as the other game, but you just played not as well and didn't get as much damage, but you got lucky and got some kills, right? Obviously, it is at the end of the day, for those people who are maybe new to the game, it is very important to take guns out of the game, because at the end of the day, I've had some of my best games where I've had like 80% of my hit points taken in the first minute of the game, and I've gone, right, this match is ruined now, and then ended up having like a mastery game, and that kind of thing. But in general, that isn't how majority of the team you're playing up against are going to be. Like, on average, the enemy player is going to be an average player, so it's not going to make that much difference to taking them out of the game, more than having more damage. So like I said, it's and obviously again, if it depends on who's playing the tanks at the time. Obviously, if you've got a lot of good players playing a certain tank, the XP earning to get a mastery is going to be a lot higher. That kind of thing. It's very variable. At the end of the day, guys, just try to do your best and have fun. And don't get too disappointed when you think it's a mastery game or a first class and it ends up being a second class or something like that. You do the best you can, enjoy the game, and that's the main thing of the game in the first place, isn't it? It's just to have fun. Like I said, I've had games where I've gone, oh, this should be a mastery. It's kind of disappointing. But there you go. Anyway, at this point in time, we're having this very kind of odd game here. And of course, FV's just so OP in this game. And that is kind of the very disappointing thing about this game, really, is... And there you go. FV's just very annoying. They're just... That's the thing, it's like... Some of these tanks in the game should be nerfed quite a bit. The FV 4211 is definitely a tank that should be nerfed. You shouldn't be in a situation where if you say on full health and the enemy's on full health, you're both the same tier, it should be who's the better skilled player, right? At the end of the day, that's how the game should be. But there is tanks in the game where you go, right, well, it's me, one versus one, but I know I'm going to lose this because I know he's in the much better tank. And that's kind of one of these tanks in the game, to be honest, and it is just a bit frustrating. As you can see, we are gonna win this game unless my team really mess it up, which is always there is always a chance of that happening. I don't know why that guy took so long to actually do the damage there. We had an AFK guy or disconnected guy on our team. We had that Conqueror. When he came first in that game, about just over 5,000 damage. He got second class, you see. And it's Cold War, so that's kind of understandable. But I actually really enjoyed the game. Apart from the ending, obviously getting killed, and like only doing 100 damage to the side of an FV with a missile is quite frustrating. But the rest of the game went pretty well. And obviously, inspired by that performance, I'm going out my own FV4211. We actually started this game late, and that's not what you want to do in a Cold War. I had to do something, I can't remember what it was, but I was away from the controller, and the game had already progressed about a minute into the game. And we all know that Cold War, it can be can have some very, very quick games. Literally a few minutes sometimes. This one's going to eke out a little bit longer than that. We are getting spotted up by something. Something did take aim and fire at us there, but I'm not getting out spotted here. Not much I can do about it. So I don't really want to take unnecessary damage at the beginning of the game, but if there's a guy comes round, of course, hit his gun, didn't do no damage, just pump some shots. The thing is with, like I said, the FV is you can put yourself out there to do, because you know you're going to bounce a lot of shots. This guy, someone is penning me along here, but we did bounce a fair few rounds as well, or get absorbed, because I can't see any bouncing damage, but we did get getting absorbed into our tracks and things. We are taking damage. We are not really in the best position here because we are exposing our drive wheel, and that's one of the only things that can be penned on this thing. But at the same time, I don't really want to sit out frontally. I should do try to be side scraping in this situation, guys. Obviously, don't play every tank and every game 100% correctly. That's just how humans work. But obviously, in hindsight, I would have been side scraping there. Trying to get... Oh, that was a very lucky shot right into the side of that guy. As you can see, the game... Once I actually got involved in the game went very, very quickly. As you can see, there's only 3 guys left, and we didn't do too badly in the end. Trying to feather a shot into his cupola there, because it's my likewise tank there. That went nowhere near it. I don't know why I'm trying to dodge a shot here. I can take plenty of hits. But then this TD comes round. I don't know what he's doing. Trying to finish off this guy, I suppose. Trying to get a kill. And hit him right in the side. My team is now very conscious of this guy, trying to lock him in place. And you know, at the end of the day, I had a fun game, quick little game. I didn't even make the top 3 in this game. I didn't particularly have what was considered a good game there, guys, but I had fun. And I was more than happy to have a game like this. When sometimes this game can really, really kick you in the nads over and over again with some terrible, terrible games, terrible matchmaking, terrible RNG. You know, those kind of games can make all the difference at the end of the day. This one is going to go a little bit better. We're in the MBT 80. Part of the season pass tank, and it is a very good tank. It is era 3, so it can make you a lot of money, and that's obviously what I want at the moment before the new modern armor update comes along. So I'll be using this tank quite a bit, unfortunately, so you might be seeing this tank a fair amount in the near future. I'm going to obviously try to vary it up, change a few tanks, play a few different tanks, but obviously, I'm going to be playing the tanks that I think I'm going to be earning the most amount of silver in. So this one, the FV, probably the most likely tanks to earn me the most silver. And there we go. This guy is not even looking my direction. Nice shot into the back. He's realised that he's getting hit from the side and from the back. So he's pulled himself back. Not going to push myself too far in. We've got no backup here, so if these guys along this road here decide to push me, I could be in some serious trouble. They're getting distracted by this YOLOing tank. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's quickly got himself killed. I realised that they could pull around together and finish me off, so I'm pulling back as quickly as possible. Reverse speed on this thing is awesome, especially when you can play when you play World War II so much. You forget sometimes how fast you can reverse, and sometimes I don't bother. I'm just sitting there taking hits because I'm like, oh, there's no point in reversing because it'll take me forever. I'm going to take just as many hits. I'm going to miss some of my shots by doing that, and then I'm like, actually, you can reverse pretty much faster than most tanks in World War II can go forwards. So just do it. So there you go. Oh. So in a very nice position now, because the majority of the teams, our team and their team, are fighting at JK 8 and 9 kind of line, and I'm getting side shots in. I'm getting, and this is kind of how you win games normally in World War II, is getting in cross shots across the enemy's lines and things if they're all going to push up kind of one direction. But unfortunately, Cold War doesn't really normally play out like this. We just got very lucky that it worked out well for us. Usually Cold War is just about just go with your team and mop up as many enemies as you can. We are losing still currently at the moment, but that's going to quickly change because they're kind of cut off from each other at this point, these enemy tanks. So we're going to just pick them apart from multiple directions. It's going to be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys at the moment are hiding behind some rocks and wrecks, so I'm not getting many shots off, but this guy, just don't know why, pushes out and managed to get a nice rear shot into him. And we still are losing. This guy is going to frustrate me quite a bit. I don't know how he pens me really there. It looks like he hit my side and pens, but I'm guessing he probably got my... I don't know. And I bounced off the side. But, you know, there you go. I think I pushed back. I'm pushing back a little bit too much here. And of course, don't know. Must be using premium rounds there. Nice shot into the side of that guy as he was trying to push one of ours, and that's what we're doing now is just supporting our team as these enemies try to push in to finish off our guys here. Another shot into that guy. Another rushing into the one of our allies is really not helping him there because he's taken a few shots there. He's on pretty low health and he's rushing in to try to finish off one of our teammates there. As you can see, we're still a tank behind, but luckily that now has gone up. Now, of course, that guy that was frustrating us comes across and we don't damage him. He's only got eyes for me, but I'm now pinning him in place. Very nice to get that out there. We're keeping him pinned. We're getting that assisted damage. Like I said, lovely game. Lovely game. We're getting about, what, 6 here. Direct damage. Well, 7,000 direct damage with almost 3,000 combined. So we're having a combined damage of about 10,000 damage and a kill here, guys. So I was thinking, maybe not a mastery. We ain't got the kills, have we? But that, like I said, is annoying. Yeah, we could have possibly got that kill. A little bit frustrated with that last shot. Should have aimed it a little bit better. But we're thinking, right, first class, right? It's got to be bound to be a first class. Over 10,000 combined. That's got to be a decent result. No, second class, guys. Second class, because I didn't get the kills. I did come first, and I did have a lot of fun in that game. But yeah, just obviously, just a little bit disappointing sometimes when it's just a second class. And only for just under 6 minutes that game, guys. So, like I said, Cold War, you can get through a lot of games very quickly. Which obviously is not particularly fun, if I'm honest. If you're grinding through a tank and you're like, I don't like this tank, I want to get through it as quickly as possible, that can be a kind of good thing, I suppose. But it just doesn't feel like, in all honesty, you're having very thoughtful and strategic games. It just feels like who can run at the enemy the quickest. And that's not really why I play these type of games. If I wanted that kind of gameplay, I would be playing Call of Duty or something like that, just rushing the enemy, bang bang, right, I'm in the next tank or whatever, or next next respawn. But I can understand why some people enjoy it. And we're in the Thumper. Pretty nice tank, to be honest. It's got good penetration. It's fast. It's got a tiny little bit of armor. It doesn't really bounce anything here, guys. It's luckily one of their weasel toes has killed themselves. Nothing makes me happier than seeing a dead weasel toe. And we're going to get actually frustrated with the weasel toe later in the match. As you can see, we're just seeing... Let's try and just work out if I'm seeing another tank or not. Which is kind of annoying, because if I worked that out earlier, I would have taken a shot and not received a shot in return. But there you go. We've got 2,000 damage. Not the worst start in the game. Just trying to work out what the enemy's doing here. I think, are they going to push? It looks like it's pushing. And of course, bounce the killing shot there. Not very fun. Trying to do a bit of side scraping there. And of course, side scraping a little bit too much for this guy, and he manages to pen my side. And another guy pokes up. And luckily, he hits my tracks. And of course, I don't realise at this point that there's a weasel toe behind me. And I could take another hit and another hit. Alright, I'm going after this weasel toe. Really hate the Weasel Toe so much. It's such an OP tank. I discussed this in one of my previous videos. Luckily, we hit him, do some engine damage. He fires off a missile and he kills someone. Of course he does, because, you know, fair and balanced gameplay in the Weasel Toe. I've only got 13 damage. I'm going to die here, but hopefully I will just kill that Weasel Toe in return. Our team is definitely going to win, so we're going to cap out if nothing else. Put a nice shot into that. And someone's taken out the Weasel Toe, unfortunately. Really wanted to do it myself. Well, there you go. Again, we have got plenty of damage. Done a bit of bounced a few rounds. But we've only got the one kill, so how that result show my in the results page? Will I get a mastery? Will I get a first class? Will I get a second class? Will I get a third class? Let's just have a look, shall we? Just finish off this guy. And the results page. So we didn't even make the top 3 in that game. And we got a second class. Yeah, so there you go. Not exactly the result I wanted, but I had, again, at the end of the day, I had fun. Made a boatload of silver there, which is obviously my main aim. So yeah. So obviously we're in the last game now, guys. We're in the MBT-80 again. It's a nice looking tank. It works well. I really quite enjoy this thing. I wouldn't say it's super OP or anything either, so that's nice, not having a broken tank in the game. This guy's just a little bit irritating me by constantly pushing into me, or just driving just in front of me or just behind me. It's quite irritating. So we're going to go up. Looks like the enemies are all going one side, so we've got to kind of rush in to hit them in the side as quickly as possible, else we will lose the game. This guy, I don't know what he's decided just to go out on his own. I'm going to wait for this guy to actually push, because there might be some guys on the hill, camping on the hill. And looks like there might be. That was pretty close, to be honest. And that guy ruins his game there pretty much. Luckily he rights himself on the last bounce, but a little bit too late now. Trying to get a shot into him before he dies. So we get close to 2,000 damage. And yeah, we're just pushing. We're going to constantly be moving in this game, and that's kind of how Cold War is. And this is... I had fun because, you know, we got a decent result and we won this game. But it's not fun being on the receiving end of this type of gameplay, is it? Because you're just nothing, is it? It's just no smart plays. It's just rush. And that's why I kind of don't really play Cold War much. Like I said, I'm only going to tank lines at the moment, just to add tanks to my collection. That's kind of all the reason I'm playing Cold War, and obviously for the silver earning potential, which will still be a little bit better than World War II. So I will still probably be playing a few premium tanks in Cold War, but once I've got the tanks I want, I don't think I'll be playing too much more Cold War. But there is still a fair few more tanks I want. So obviously I've got the tank lines I'm going up. I want to go up the French line, just because they got that big, well, that's great secondary gun, just to see what that's like. But I think that's about it really, from that, unless they add any more lines, which they will. That'll be it for me. As you can see, we're just mopping up now. As you can see, we've absolutely run away with this game. This time we've got a few kills. That should hopefully make a bit of a difference in the old results page, right? We've got 6,000. 7,000, close to 8,000 really. and 3 kills. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. An epic victory. Anyway, if you did like the video, guys, give it a like and a subscribe, because I'll be bringing you more replays in the near future. As you can see, just a second class. But still, not a bad result. Bye, guys.